Well, good evening, everyone. And the title of my talk today or tonight is Driven by Purpose. And I'm pretty sure that many of you really have a heart for the poor and the needy. And just maybe that you are not really sure what to do. Maybe you're asking some questions like, what do I really do with this overwhelming need in front of me? What do I do to help? Where do I even start? What do I need to do? And so some of these questions are really real, and maybe you are doing some things, and doing some things that just really helping people, but you're asking the question, does it really work? And so I want to share some thoughts with you tonight, and I believe understanding some of these things that I'm going to share are vital in knowing how to really help the poor and the needy. And the first thing I want to share with you is this: understanding the heart of God. In the book of Psalm chapter 72, beginning from verse 12, it says, "For God will deliver the needy who cry out, the afflicted who have no one to help. He will take pity on the weak and the needy and save the needy from death. He will rescue them from oppression and violence. For precious," look at this, "precious is their blood in His sight." And so this is really the heart of God for the poor and the needy, and for those that are weak, those that are being oppressed. This is really the heart of God is so close to them. And so we got to understand His heart. And then the second thing is this: understanding the call. Remember the passage in the book of Matthew chapter 25 when Jesus was teaching, and one of the things He said is, "For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. And I was in prison and you came to visit me." And they're all wondering, when did that happen? And Jesus simply said, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of these brothers of mine and sisters of mine, you did for me." Would you not agree with me, friends, that we are called to be salt and light? That we are called, that we have a purpose? Every single one of us we do have a purpose. We have a call. And the third thing I believe is this: is understanding that there are three stages to help people. And this is where I'm going to park for a little bit. There are three stages to help people. Number one is relief. Number two is rehabilitation. And number three is development. Is it true that our country, our Western culture, we've done a great job in regards to giving all kinds of relief? Would you not agree? We do a pretty good job. Is it possible, though, that maybe somehow we believe that giving relief alone is the only answer in helping the poor and the needy? Is that possible? You see, friends, when we only stay in giving relief, what we create is a culture of entitlement. Would you not agree that's pretty obvious in our society today? And so I just want to remind you today, friends, that Jesus only fed twice. And the whole time He was here for 3.5 years, He developed these 12 men that would impact and change the world. He only fed twice. In fact, John chapter 6 was so eye-opening for me, because here's Jesus feeding the 5,000 people, and after feeding the 5,000, He went up on the mountainside, and then people were looking for Him. And so when they finally found Jesus, they were like, "Jesus, where have you been? We've been looking for you." And you know how He responded? It was really interesting. He said, "Well, the only reason why you're looking for me because I fed you yesterday." Is it possible that people are going and looking for churches and Christians and those that are just good with giving relief? Is it possible that they're looking for you and me? So why do we tend to stay on a relief stage? Is it possible because we just don't know what to do? Is it possible because that's easy and comfortable, and at the same time, when we give a sandwich or a couple of dollars, it makes us feel good? Friends, here's the thing. Getting to the rehabilitation and development stage is pretty uncomfortable. This is hard. You know why? Because what you're saying, what I'm saying to you is, if I'm going to rehabilitate you or take a moment to develop you, what I'm saying is that I'm going to be involved in your mess. And we say, man, I don't know if I want to do that. That's just uncomfortable. It's not easy. It takes a lot of my time, energy, strength, all of that, resources. But do you know that doing relief alone will never really help people completely? That is only one of the ways to help them, but not the only way. I just want to challenge you today, don't get satisfied by just giving a handout. A handout alone does not work. We built a playground for the inner city, as Cassidy said. And do you know that we said we're going to get everybody involved. The people that live there and even the businesses, they got to start engaging. We're not going to have an attitude as if saying, hey, we're going to build this and then here you are. No, we want to engage. We want them to get involved. And you know, over 140 people came and showed up within the community, and 8 businesses came, and we built that playground in one day. And guess what? Who's taking care of the playground? The community. Because it's about getting them involved and getting them engaged. And here's the thing, we need to be willing to get uncomfortable by getting involved in their lives. Remember the conversation that a couple of men that came up to Jesus and said, Jesus, we want to follow you. I want to follow you. And Jesus said, are you sure you want to follow me? Because I want you to know I don't even have a place to lay my head. Are you sure? Another guy said, hey, Jesus, I want to follow you, but let me do these things first. And Jesus looked at him and said, if you want to do that, you are unfit for the kingdom of God. And you're like, come on, Jesus, give a guy a little break. But what Jesus was saying is, if you want to follow me, if you want to do my work, it's going to make you uncomfortable. I mean, Melissa is right here today. So just bless the fact that what she does to fight for sex trafficking and many others. I mean, when I did homelessness with Bill, do you really think that that's comfortable? No way in the world. That was beyond. I wanted to go home Tuesday. We started Sunday. We want to go home Tuesday. And my wife said, well, honey, you made a commitment till Sunday. Which means she didn't want me to go home. Jesus didn't call us to be comfortable. So we just opened up a resource center about a couple of weeks ago. And we just hired Bill. And the concept of this resource center is really relief, rehabilitation, and development. And I'm so excited, and the fact that he's doing a great job of doing that already. And then quickly, understanding the who. I got 27 minutes. Understanding the who. Mental illness. You got the severe high-functioning content, which is they don't want to follow the rules, they don't want to obey the law. And then you got situational, which is something just bad happened, and basically they're saying, I need help. So you got to identify who you want to help. And then understand, lastly, it takes everybody to help others with all of our expertise, resources, ability, and capacity. It's really time for us to engage. Would you not agree? And my prayer is this, is that we would just be able to engage and have a conversation. And my prayer is that we would just really understand when Jesus said, I pray, Father, that they will be united. As me and the Father are one, that they will be one. Thank you.